wide into the turn. They're followed by Perfect Life in fourth, 5 lengths off the lead, and Girl Can't Help It at the back of the field. Around the first turn, and Samuel leads the way, 3/4 of a length. Lady Rider applies mild pressure in second, 1.5 lengths, step it out a 3 wide third. 2 clear of Girl Can't Help It taking fourth, and Perfect Life now trails. Tyler Bays and Samuel leads the way, 3/4 of a length. Lady Rider in second. It's now 4 or 5 lengths back. Step It Out has lost some ground. Girl Can't Help It now puts her head into third, and that pair followed by Perfect Life at the rail. They move into the far turn, and Samuel has been there every step of the way, pursued throughout by Lady Rider. It's 8 more back to Girl Can't Help It in third. Perfect Life, Step It Out, not interested. Coming to the quarter pole, Samuel just in front. Lady Rider trying hard to get by, but Samuel now leads by a full length, coming past the quarter pole and turning for home. Lady Rider in second, Girl Can't Help It third, then Perfect Life, Step It Out eased. They're in the final 1/8 of a mile. Samuel clear by 3. Lady Rider trying to hold second over Perfect Life in third. 16th pole, Samuel still in front by 3.5 lengths. Lady Rider tried hard, but settles for second. Samuel, wire to wire. Second to Lady Rider, Perfect Life was third. Welcome to Santa Anita's Autumn Meet. In addition to Miss Temple City for Ramayama, Essential Lady out of Lady Shipman, quite the broodmare band. They're in the gate. And they're off. Umbrale flashing her speed. Cosmo Friday came away with Sharp Early Foot 2. And Essential Lady is on the outside third. They're followed by Darlin Duchess, who's fourth and 3 lengths off the lead. Ramayana is next, a gap of 2 back to Atina Liz, and Surfin' USA has 7 to make up. Umbrale takes him past the half-mile pole, pursued by both Cosmo Friday and Essential Lady on the outside. 3 more, Darlin Duchess just in front of Ramayana. A gap of 4, Surfin' USA goes by Atina Liz. Umbrale and Hector Barrios try to scamper clear and have done so. They've opened up 3 lengths now. Essential Lady set down by Kimura trying to stay relevant. Then Darlin Duchess on the inside third. They're followed by Cosmo Friday losing ground. Ramayana inside of her. And then Surfin' USA. Umbrale turns for home with a 4-length lead and 1 furlong to go. Darlin Duchess running a good race. Ramayana inside Essential Lady. 16th pole. Umbrale by 4. Too fast. Too sharp. It will be Umbrale in front running fashion. Some promising closers. Ramayana completes the exacta. Surfin' USA kicked it in late to be in a photo for third with Darlin Duchess. No changes. 22 minutes to post. In the gate. And they're off. What's the Buzz gets the first call, immediately tackled by Seegerman. Kitten in charge in between those two. They're followed by Excessive Thievery, who's fourth and 3 lengths off the lead. Spiritist Extreme outside. Roborando is next in a gap of 5 to Uplift. What's the Buzz takes him to the 3/8 pole, leading by 1.5 lengths. Seegerman in hot pursuit cuts into that margin. It's now a 1/2 length. It's 3 more to Excessive Thievery. Kitten in charge. Spiritist outside of that pair. Another 3 to Roborando and 8 to Uplift. They have a 1/4 of a mile to go, and Seegerman puts his white blinkers just in front. What's the Buzz fights on willingly. These two have dominated thus far, coming to the furlong pole, and it's Seegerman, the leader, on the inside. What's the Buzz back to second. Kitten in charge is third, and then Roborando fourth, 16th pole, and Seegerman opens up 3. Here's Kitten in charge, closing, but second best to Seegerman, who wins it by 2.5 lengths. Kitten in charge second, close photo, Roborando, or What's the Buzz for the Shodo. to the outside. They're in the gate. And they're off without a pout. Bounces out sweetly. Musical song on the inside. They're joined by Eastwick, and Justivar is fourth. Now about to tuck in behind this trio to save a bit of ground going into the first turn. Silver Flirt is toward the back of the field, and just inside of her comes Church Lady. Around that turn, and Musical Song is the long shot leader, has it by 2. Without a pout will track from second. Another 3 back to Eastwick in third, and Justivar fourth. Church Lady moves up, claims that fourth spot, and then Silver Flirt. It's a compact field, though. 5 lengths would cover them all. Down the back stretch, and the lead belongs to Musical Song, who has it by 2. Without a pout, Eastwick on the outside, third. Church Lady fourth, 3 lengths off the lead past the half-mile pole. Justivar is next, and Silver Flirt continues to trail. Into the far turn, Musical Song still there. Without a pout, asked to get after her in second as Church Lady has steadily advanced under Kimura at the rail in third. Here's the favorite, Justivar, now getting involved, and there goes Justivar. Moving up, she'll be 3 wide, has to catch Without a Pout, who's the new leader at the top of the stretch. Without a Pout turns for home, gets the best of Musical Song. Justivar and Church Lady are in the final furlong. Church Lady now coming after Without a Pout. Without a Pout, Church Lady. Church Lady or Without a Pout on the inside, a tough Musical Song, and Justivar. Church Lady now surges past coming to the wire, and Church Lady wins it a length and a half. Very solid performance from Musical Song in second. Photo between Without a Pout and Justivar for the Shodo. Early pick 5, good for $281.90. Up next, race 6, scratch 3, Fly at Night. They'll be at the gate for the start of the late pick 4 in 22 minutes. Okay. And they're off. Newport Dreams is quick out of the gate. So is Dixie's Delight. Gadavri on the outside. And here's West Fresno sprinting quickly on the inside and up to take the lead. Turkey Bird is a close-up 5th. They are followed by Big A's Little One racing on the outside of Dramatic Attraction and Jenny's Wine Girl at the back of the field. West Fresno takes him into the far turn, leading 3/4 of a length. Dixie's Delight, Gadavri 3 deep in third. Then Newport Dreams between horses and Turkey Bird at the rail. 3 clear of Dramatic Attraction, Big A's Little One, and Jenny's Wine Girl between those two. 1/4 mile to go. Gadavri and Dixie's Delight go on. On the inside, West Fresno fighting bravely. Out in the center of the racetrack, Newport Dreams in fourth, 1 furlong to go. And Gadavri is up to take the lead. Here's Newport Dreams on the outside, closing stoutly, and at the rail, it's West Fresno. It is Gadavri, Newport Dreams alongside, and Newport Dreams runs down Gadavri. Third to Turkey Bird. Photo for fourth, Dixie's Delight and West Fresno. And they're off. Lady Gregory and Willow Cove are the first 2 out. Here's Magical Miss sprinting through on the inside to battle for command. Another 4 to Rizzleberry Rose, followed by Amanda Rose. Then comes Press Your Luck 3 deep outside Freya. And Blue Wildcat is 8 lengths off the leader, Willow Cove, who sprints clear at the half-mile pole by 2.5 lengths. Lady Gregory in second. Magical Miss keeping pace along the rail in third. 4 clear of Rizzleberry Rose. Amanda Rose is next. Blue Wildcat, Pressure Luck, and Freya between those two. Willow Cove midway on the far turn, pressed now by Lady Gregory, and Lady Gregory looming large up to take the lead. Just behind them, Magical Miss. Rizzleberry Rose is next. Extreme outside, Amanda Rose there at the top of the stretch, and Lady Gregory surges to the front. Magical Miss in between horses, far outside Rizzleberry Rose, and here's Blue Wildcat, who's come with a nice stretch kick to take second, but no match for Lady Gregory. She loves to win and did it again today. Lady Gregory, another for Barrios, wins by 4. Blue Wildcat was second, Rizzleberry Rose third, Photo Pressure Luck, and Freya for fourth. Mutual prices have been posted for the 7th. In the 8th, late double begins. And post time on the board is in. You're in the gate. And they're off. And Sunset Storm wins the break. Mystic Flyer moves through on the inside to challenge. And they're joined by Majestic Palisades 3 deep in third. At the rail, it's Come Out Fighting with Austonian in fifth. Between rivals, 3 lengths off the lead. Sakil is next. A gap of 2 back to Big Spin. And Upstart Yankee is at the back. They're covered by 7 onto the backstretch. Mystic Flyer is head and head with Sunset Storm. They race together as one. Majestic Palisades, a length and a half back third. Then Come Out Fighting an Austonian. A length and a half, Sakil in the blue, Upstart Yankee, and Big Spin. They're heading to the half mile, and Come Out Fighting has made a move on the inside. Come Out Fighting is the new leader with a half mile to go. Mystic Flyer, a length and a half back second. Sunset Storm has lost ground third. Then Majestic Palisades, Austonian at the rail is fifth, 4 lengths off the lead. Sakil pushed along. Big Spin, Upstart Yankee. 5/16 of a mile to travel. Come Out Fighting made that big move, leads at a half a length. Mystic Flyer alongside. Here's Austonian looming large at the top of the stretch. Austonian makes a 3-wide bid after Come Out Fighting. They come to the 8th pole. Austonian, Come Out Fighting are head and head. Behind them, Mystic Flyer in third, and then Sunset Storm 16th pole. Come Out Fighting or Austonian. Come Out Fighting, a tenacious customer on the inside of Austonian. Come Out Fighting. Come Out Fighting. What a ride from Franco. Made the winning move on the backstretch, fending off Austonian. Mystic Flyer third, fourth between Upstart Yankee and Majestic Palisades. One more. They're in the gate, and they're off. Wildfire Princess, Strawberry Tizzy both out quickly, joined by Infinity Dream, who sprints up, and Thea in the green is down at the rail. Rehearsal, the favorite, is in fifth, but only 4 lengths off the lead. Caitlin Fever is next, outside Gladly, and Nakota trails into the first turn where Wildfire Princess shows the way, has it a length and a half to Infinity Dream in second. Then comes Thea along the rail in third, racing 3 lengths off the pace. Strawberry Tizzy is next. Reespoli has a good hold of Rehearsal in fifth with 6 to make up, 3/4 to Caitlin Fever, 2 in front of Gladly and Nakota. They've swung on to the backstretch, and the lead belongs to Wildfire Princess. In hand under Kyle Frey and has it by 2.5 lengths. Infinity Dream is racing in second, followed by Thea in third. Then Strawberry Tizzy, Rehearsal on the inside in fifth. A 3-wide Caitlin Fever is next. Gladly still second to last, and Nakota. Wildfire Princess left alone and scampering clear. And Wildfire Princess has a 3.5 length lead coming to the quarter pole. Infinity Dream now closing in though. And Infinity Dream within 2 lengths of the leader. Thea's in third. Rehearsal is next. They're at the top of the stretch. And it's Wildfire Princess and Infinity Dream. Wildfire Princess still in front. Infinity Dream's trying to go by now. It's Wildfire Princess, Infinity Dream on the outside, and Infinity Dream surges to give Hector Barrios a triple. Wildfire Princess second. Then it was Rehearsal third in front of Thea, and Caitlin Fever completes the super high five.
If you're looking to gamble on today's outstanding 10-race card here at the Great Race Place, you came to the right place. Hi, everybody. My name is Tom Quigley, VIP player concierge, also your seminar host for the next 40 minutes. And did you take a look at today's card? Of those 10 races, 5 of them are stakes races, 4 of them are graded, and 3 of them are Breeders' Cup win and you're in races. We've also got a pick 6 carryover in excess of $28,000 here at Santa Anita, as well as a $12,000 carryover in the $1 new Sunset 6 pick 6, combining the last 3 races at Santa Anita with the last 3 races at Gulfstream Park. So we've got a lot of ground to cover. You don't want to listen to me the entire 40 minutes, so we brought in heavy artillery. His name, Brad Free from the Daily Racing Forum. Brad, happy Saturday. Welcome to the seminar.
Thank you. Glad to be back. Santa Anita is home for me. It's home for
all
of us. It is, and it's nice to be back for the. I wanted to call it the Ocean Meet because that's what it's been known as forever. It's the Santa Anita Autumn Meet, and I'm glad to be back.
It's kind of like summer camp, right? We all go away for the summer and have fun, maybe at Del Mar or Saratoga or other points in between. But then we come back home. Eventually, we come back home and it puts a big smile on our face.
Well, vacation, the two best days of vacation are the first day and the day you come home. And it's kind of the same way. Del Mar, everybody looks forward to Del Mar.
By the end of it, they're all sour, right?
Looking forward to coming back home. I'm the same way.
We've got the Goodwood Stakes, of course, which is a grade 1 event, a Breeders' Cup Classic win in your in event. But, you know, the Breeders' Cup Classic division this year, Brad, is kind of deep because the 3-year-olds are very talented. We've got Sovereignty, trained by Bill Mott. We've got Journalism, one of the home-based horses here at St. Edge, trained by Michael McCarthy. Baeza, who you've been on for a long, long time, recent winner of the Pennsylvania Derby at Parks. And, of course, Fierceness, who wound up winning the Del Mar Pacific Classic. He's run 2 dynamite races down at Del Mar, once in the Breeders' Cup Classic and also in the Pacific Classic. He's probably going to be in the race. I left out from a couple of important names as well, but it's a really competitive race.
It looks like one of the deeper Breeders' Cup Classics that we've seen in some time. And Mindframe and Antiquarian are the couple, and Sierra Leone.
Correct.
Older horses.
They're okay.
They're all okay. Fierceness was dynamite in the Pacific Classic this fall. He ran super this summer. He ran super last fall in the Breeders' Cup, finishing second. He faces a very good several good 3-year-old, Sovereignty, Journalism, and Baeza, who knocked heads through some of the Triple Crown races. Sovereignty right now, I would suspect, would probably be the favorite.
I think so, because he's been so impressive.
He's been super impressive. 3-year-olds are not at any disadvantage at all in the Breeders' Cup Classic, but the way that Fierceness ran this summer in the Pacific Classic over that track and his form last fall, if I had to make a pick today, it would probably be Fierceness, but I still have 6 weeks to change my mind.
Breeders' Cup is 6 weeks away. Actually, Breeders' Cup day number 2, 5 weeks from today. Have you started doing any work on the European imports that might be invading for any of the turf races? I know some of your responsibility of the daily racing form might be covering some of the Europeans. Have you taken a peek at any of those?
No, the race that I'm covering is the Breeders' Cup Distaff. There's going to be one import, and she's coming from South America. But no, I have not looked into
tomorrow's Zenyatta Stakes has a big impact on that division.
Super big impact. Seismic Beauty's not in the race. She'll be one of the favorites in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, but Baffert does have Cavalieri and Ricci as the 2 favorites in the Zenyatta tomorrow. I haven't gone into the European form for the grass races yet. There's only 14 races to cover. I got, the next month and a half to get tuned up.
Brad, one thing that kind of became apparent when I was looking through today's card, it reminded me of something that's kind of an old handicapping axiom, which is horses for courses. And let's just kind of maybe take a look at one horse as an example, Gold Phoenix. He won the Del Mar Handicap 4 consecutive years, which is an incredible accomplishment. But when he comes back here and runs in the autumn meet, he's usually up the track. And so he's going to be a short price today. But I'm really a believer, and there's more examples of this on today's card when we look through the card race by race, that we're going to see that. Players, Full Serrano is an example. Mm-hmm. All of his races have been down at Del Mar. He's a very talented horse, but he's never stepped foot on this main track in the afternoon. Are you a big believer in horses for courses?
Absolutely. And that's one reason why I picked against Gold Phoenix today. He has raced 3 times in the John Henry. After every single Del Mar Handicap, his first 3 Del Mar Handicap wins, he came back in the John Henry. He was off the board twice. He finished 3rd at 6-5. I think he's 3 for 15 over the Santa Anita turf course, but Gold Phoenix is 5 for 9 at Del Mar. You do the math.
Correct.
I mean, it looks like he likes Del Mar a lot better. In the case,
and the Breeders' Cup is there this year, which is good for him.
It's very good for him. But I will say this. First of all, you're right. To win the Del Mar Handicap 4 consecutive years is unbelievable, and trainer Phil D'Amato has done a fantastic job. His initial inkling was to train Gold Phoenix into the Breeders' Cup turf. The fact that he is in the John Henry today, I would consider that a bullish signal.
Correct.
That D'Amato likes him.
He's doing well.
He's doing well. Why not go for it today while the horse is doing well? But I don't think he's as effective on this grass course at Santa Anita as he is at Del Mar, whereas Stay Hot, I don't think it matters for him. He can run well on any course. Full Serrano, interesting you brought that up, because I was initially thinking, I wonder if he likes this track.
The workout, right?
The workout was fantastic.
Correct.
He likes this track, Full Serrano does. I think he'll be tough to beat today.
You mentioned Phil D'Amato, and of course, part of your job responsibility is to go on the backside and talk to trainers and jockeys and try to get some inside scoop and put it in DRF, both in print and also online. How do you filter through all the information you get? I mean, sometimes one of the more famous lines that horse players use is, how do you know that a trainer's lying when he opens his mouth? Now, that's obviously an exaggeration, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Sometimes they can't be maybe quite as candid as they want to be with you. So how do you filter through all that?
Well, first of all, I already have my opinions on a horse and or a race before I go and talk to these guys. I'm looking for trainers like D'Amato and Sadler and Sheriffs to kind of fill in the blanks, fill in the missing information that I don't have, that's not readily available in the past performances. So, Yeah, there's a lot of BS in the morning, and as you said, trainers can't always be as forthcoming as you would like them to be. But if you know what you're talking about and you have a preconceived opinion, you can use the trainer's information to add to your knowledge, so to speak.
Another question for you, Brad. We've seen an influx with the closure of Golden Gate Fields of jockeys coming down here and doing very well. And I've talked about this many times before. Prior to their closure, we had plenty of examples of good jockeys coming from Northern California and making an impact, not only here in Southern California, but nationwide. Jockeys like Martin Garcia, Victor Espinosa, Joel Rosario, Juan Hernandez, and then more recently, Armando Ayuso, Ricky Gonzalez. They've kind of picked up my head a little bit because they're competing on a very high level, I think perhaps exceeding what we were expecting from them.
I'm glad you brought up Ayuso and Ricky Gonzalez because both these guys are very good, talented riders.
Kyle Frey, by the way.
Kyle Frey, another one. And they are kind of, this is a tough colony to break into, especially when you're only racing generally, 3, maybe 4 days a week sometimes. Correct. So there's fewer opportunities, but those guys, Gonzalez and Ayuso, are gradually working their way in. Of course, you got Hernandez, Frisu, Kimura, and Barrios are the top guys here on the Southern California circuit. But so it's a tough circuit. It's a good circuit.
What about Barrios on the turf? I mean, yesterday he had a couple of turf wins. He rides it tactically so well. He stays inside and then tips out outside at the top of the lane. That's what a lot of riders should do if they were thinking ahead of time. But he's able to accomplish that almost every ride on the turf.
Well, grass races to me are the most revealing type of race to, gauge a jockey's ability, because it's not like a 6 furlong dirt sprint where you just go from the gate and just hope your horse lasts. With a turf route, there's some finesse. You have to save ground. You have to be aware of what's going on around you. Guys like Barrios, Flavian Pratt, I wish he still rode here.
Sure.
Terrific. Reese Bully, another guy who's really good on the grass. So there's a lot more to riding a grass race than there is a dirt race. Dirt's all about speed, mostly about speed. On grass, you need to have some ability to know when to move, to know how to save ground, to know how to get out of trouble, have an escape plan if something, get yourself in a jackpot. Guys like Barrios and Rispoli are very good at that.
One of the most unique layouts anywhere in the world, Brad, is the down the hill turf course here at Santa Anita. It's a spectacle that I think racing fans all around the world actually enjoy and wager on. There's a lot of talk about routers cutting back to a down the hill sprint. I know you've done a lot of analytical work. I don't know if you've actually ever looked at that sort of angle, but are there maybe different things that you've kind of learned over the years that horses like the downhill turf course if they're trying it for the first time?
Well, it's definitely a horse for course type of layout.
Sure.
But the thing I agree with you, Tom. I love the 6.5 downhill, one of my favorite races. And one of the things I like, first of all, you generally get big fields, and it brings together two different divisions. Milers and sprinters can come together, and neither one has an advantage over the other. Those milers can blast home going 6.5 down the hill. Sprinters can stretch their speed 6.5 going down the hill. So there's no, I like those races because they're competitive. The fields are big, and horses who have run well down the hill in the past have a tendency to run well again. Also, another strange situation is that we have two turf sprint layouts in California. 5 furlongs, more when you count this flats at Santa Anita. Right. But two main ones, 5 furlongs on turf at Del Mar, 6.5 down the hill. They couldn't at Santa Anita. They could not be any more different. Just because a horse wins going 5 furlongs and closes from behind at 5 furlongs at Del Mar does not mean they're going to be as effective going 6.5 down the hill today, anytime. And we're going to find that an example of that today with a couple of horses exiting a 5 furlong grass race down at Del Mar. I have an opinion on that race. We'll talk about the Eddie D. But Reef Runner is a 5 furlong specialist. He has been his entire career. Now he's doing something a little bit different. 6.5 down the hill after being a 5 furlong specialist throughout most of his career.
We've got 10 competitive races, many with Breeders' Cup implications. We're going to find out who Brad Free likes in all 10 of those races, But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes on today's Saturday's card here at the Great Race Place.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place. The track is fast, the turf is firm. We do have a carryover in the pick six of more than $28,475. And there's a carryover in the Sunset pick six that starts with Gulfstream's ninth of more than $12,700. Remember, the Sunset Six, a $1 wager. Our pick six here, a $2 wager. The Sunset Six every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, starting at Gulfstream with their last three races, and then our last three races with a 15% player-friendly takeout, $1 minimum, and it's a retail wager only. The Sunset Six debuted yesterday. Here are the early changes on today's program. Race 1. Keep in mind again that the Sunset Six starts with Gulfstream's 9th, 12,707 in there. Number 2, Dialing Destiny, make the jockey Ricky Gonzalez. Race 2 starts the early pick 4. No changes. In the 3rd, scratch number 6, cash in tonight. Race 4 is the Grade 2 City of Hope Mile. It's a Breeders' Cup win and you're in for the mile division. There is a middle pick 4 starting with the 4th and no program changes. In the 5th, number 4, Army Man, make the jockey Umberto Rispoli. Umberto Rispoli rides number 4. This race starts to pick 6, and again, that carryover, $28,474. Turning to the 6th race, it's the John Henry Turf Championship Grade 2 event. Just the blinker note, and the all-turf pick 3 starts with the 6th. Race 7, number 6, Hot Box, will carry 1 pound over. The 8th is the Grade 2 Eddie D. Number 1, Reef Runner, make the jockey Antonio Fresu. Start of the $3 late pick 3. The 9th, the Grade 1 Goodwood. It's a Breeders' Cup win and you're in for the Classic Division. Scratch number 1 Gaming. Note that number 4, First Mission, will be ridden by Umberto Rispoli, and 5, Nevada Beach, will carry 2 pounds over. Race 10 is the John C. Harris Stakes Grade 3 event. Scratch number 12, Tight Squeeze. Super high 5 wagering is offered on the 10th and 10th only. Pick 6 carryover on races 5 through 10. Enjoy this extraordinary day of racing here at Santa Anita Park. Let's go back to Quigley's Corner. Tom's special guest today, the Daily Racing Forum's Brad Free.
Welcome back. We're talking horse with Brad Free. He's the Daily Racing Form Southern California handicap room reporter. It's our pleasure to have him on a very busy day today here at Santa Anita. 10 races, many with Breeders' Cup implications, including a pick 6 carryover here at Santa Anita in excess of $28,000. Brad, a lot of ground to cover. So let's kick things off in race number 1, which begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5. We're sprinting 6 furlongs on the flat turf course. The rails today are at 0 feet. This is a race for maiden special weight Calbred fillies and mares. A full field of 11. The one taking out all the action is the original morning line favorite, number 8, Delaterra, now 6-5 on the tote board. You like her best, or you're looking elsewhere?
Well, I like Delaterra, but I don't like the price. It looks like she's going to be short. She ran very well both starts this winter at Santa Anita. Runner-up on dirt, runner-up on grass. The filly who beat her last time came back to win in one of the van for Calbreds. In fact, two horses out of that race came back to win. So Delaterra, trained by Mark Glatt, she's working well. She should fire. She's my top selection, but I'm more interested because of the price discrepancy with the filly that's drawn right to her outside, number 9, Naturally Blonde. And I normally wouldn't make a case for a 10-start maiden, but to me, she's only a 4-start maiden because she's only made 4 starts since she moved into the trainer Jeff Mullen's barn, and they have completely changed her running style. She used to be kind of a pace presser who just died home and lost maiden race after maiden race. Since Mullen's has trained her, they're teaching her to settle and finish. Problem is, 5 furlongs at Del Mar, which she ran 2nd and 4th in her last 2 starts, is just too short. She's going to settle and finish today under Barrios, and I think at whatever price she ends up at, 9-2 would be a huge overlay in my opinion. I think that Naturally Blonde is going to run very, very well. She'll run 6 furlongs today is all they're running today. I think Naturally Blonde with an extra furlong to work with will give Delaterra a battle. I like the 8 and the 9, but I'll probably end up betting on the 9 horse if the odds are as far apart as they are right now.
Brad, a question for you. Your top 2 picks, 8 and 9 in race number 1, both are 4-year-old fillies, primarily facing younger. At what point in the year do you kind of draw a line and say, okay, the 3-year-olds can finally compete with their older competition? Is there a certain cutoff point, or do you take it on a case-by-case basis?
It's kind of a case-by-case basis, but by the summer, when summer rolls around, if a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old are both eligible to the same condition, my gut feeling generally is, well, that 4-year-old must not be much.
Correct.
And here I am making a case for a couple of 4-year-olds.
But with rationalization.
Well, yeah, exactly. So at this time of year in fall, it does not bother me at all, a 3-year-old. In fact, I usually would lean in that direction.
Race number 2, we're sprinting 6 furlongs on the main track. Race 2 also begins the 50-cent early. Pick 4, Santa Anita Park. This race is named in honor of Santa Anita Park. Welcomes the Ories and friends. The conditions of this race are allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. Field of 6. Welcome back to the saddle, jockey Tiago Pereira. He had an injury down at Del Mar. It's good to see him. This is his first race on the comeback trail. Good luck to he and his agent as well. But Brad, the morning line favorite in this race, number 2, Miracle Mark, going from a route to a sprint for trainer Phil D'Amato, owned by our friends at Slam Dunk Racing. What say you about race 2?
Well, I don't see why Miracle Mark should be the 2-1 favorite, to be perfectly honest. I mean, there's 3 others in the race I like more, including the 2 on the outside. You brought up the horse for course angle earlier today, Tom. How about Grubauer? 3 starts at Santa Anita, 2 wins in a second. How about Ghost of Midnight? 5 starts at Santa Anita, 3 wins in 2 seconds. Those are my top 2 selections. You look at Grubauer, he ran 6th and 5th in his last 2 starts. Those were at Del Mar.
Big difference, right?
Huge difference. He loves Santa Anita. He worked well on September 14th, according to, I think it was Andy Harrington I read. He's back on his his preferred surface, I should say, or surface on which he has run extremely well. He's drawn outside. He has speed. There's only one other speed horse in the race, true speed horse, that being number 4, Code Dwello. I know that number 1, Lawless World, also has speed, but Grubauer should get a pace-pressing trip. I expect him to return to form, and I think he can win if he can hold off Ghost of Midnight, who, in my opinion, I think he's going to go favorite, number 5, Ghost of Midnight. He's the quote, best horse in the race, or he has run fastest against better company. He's already a 2 other than winner. He's running at the 1 other than condition, enter for the $50,000 claim tag. I like 6 over 5. I probably will use the 4 horse defensively, and I'm going to toss Miracle Mark. If he wins, I'm going to be knocked out of everything right off the bat.
Not something Nick Casado wanted to hear, but nevertheless, sentiment is for suckers when it comes to handicapping, right?
Yeah, he's not fast enough. I use Thorograph sheets along with Beyer speed figures, and his Thorograph numbers make him, a 6-to-1 shot in here.
Race number 3, we're sprinting once again 6 furlongs on the main track for maiden special weight Calbred 2-year-old fillies. This race is named in honor of Harris Farms and Harris Ranch Resort. We've got a field of 5 after the scratch of number 6. Cash in tonight. Number 5, Cashed, is the 7-to-5 morning line favorite. 5 ways you can go here, Brad. Which way you going and why?
Yeah, I mean, I picked Cashed, even though she regressed second time out. She regressed on Beyer speed figures. She ran the same race on Thorograph. She finished 5 clear of the 3rd place finisher. That was down at Del Mar. I don't know about her, to be honest with you. I picked her reluctantly, but I'm very interested in a couple of second-time starters trained by Steve Maiotti. Number 2, Jacqueline Lucas, and number 3, Billie Holiday. Both are likely to improve. Jacqueline Lucas actually finished very well. She had no speed, finished well in her debut, and I expect her to improve. And Billie Holiday, by all reports, has done exceptionally well since her most recent start. She broke poorly from the rail. She rushed up. She was blocked early, and it was a better than look 6th place debut by Billie Holiday. She worked very well out of the gate last September 20th, according to all reports. And I expect the 2 Maiotis to run a lot better today. I think they both have a chance. Either one of them have a chance to upset the favorite. I settled with the favorite, number 5, but I'll be using numbers 2 and 3 also. My selections, 5, 2.
Race number 4 begins a 50-cent middle, pick 4 on today's 10-race card, and it's the first of the Breeders' Cup winning urine races. It's the Grade 2 City of Hope Mile, $200,000 guaranteed, traveling 1 mile on the turf course. We've got a field of 6. Morning line favorite, number 3, Johannes, who has never been defeated on the Santa Anita turf course. Even money on the tote board. Brad, you do such good work in your analysis. You said that favorites have won this race 7 of the last 8 years, meaning the City of Hope Mile. Do you expect Johannes to win today's edition?
Yeah, I really do. And I usually am very skeptical about horses like Johannes, and I do have a little bit of skepticism today because He hasn't run a good race since December, not by any fault of his own. He was off with bone bruising. He had a nightmare trip at Saratoga, but he apparently has trained exceptionally well. He towers over this field on class. This is a very important race for Johannes. He needs to run well today to get back to the Breeders' Cup Mile race, in which he finished second last year. So as much as I would like to try to beat this even money favorite, I think that Johannes kind of lays over the field. Number 6, Cabo Spirit, is my second selection, and it all depends on how much pace unfolds in this race, because he'll have to deal with number 4, Final Boss. If Cabo Spirit and Final Boss can stay out of each other's way, if one of them clears and the other one sits second, they potentially could make it a parade. But when all is said and done, I think Johannes just blows right past them late. He's the best horse in the race, training well for his comeback.
Race number 5 begins the $2 pick 6. As you've seen on the screen throughout the seminar, we've got a $28,000 pick 6 carryover beginning in race number 5, and we kick things off spreading 6 furlongs on the main track for maiden special weight 2-year-olds. A field of 6 make the jockey on number 4, Army Man. That would be Umberto Rispoli. Providence, the second-time starter for Bob Baffert, one of 2 he trains, and here is the even morning line favorite. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Brad, courtesy of our friends at firsttv.com, both Providence and Rio Grande had a gate work a week ago today, September 20th, and that's Providence on the inside. That's his a workmate, Rio Grande, on the outside. That's exactly how they'll be breaking in today's race, breaking from post positions number 1 and 2. As we saw them break from the gate, Brad, Providence was a bit step slow into stride, but quickly catches up to Rio Grande. But Rio Grande doesn't go away. Rio Grande sticks with Providence basically the entire race. Providence is out of the very, very talented mare, Monomite Girl, who never sprinted in her career. She actually had 17 starts, 14 wins in 3 seconds. I'm not sure that this workout is enough to basically convince us that Providence is an even money favorite, but based on this workout and maybe some of your other handicapping angles, who do you like in race 5 and why?
Well, I mean, I picked Providence because he ran very well first time out, but it was around 2 turns at Del Mar. I think there's probably a reason why Baffert debuted him around 2 turns with that pedigree on the bottom, Monomoy Girl, and he ran well. He was off slowly. He was wide throughout. He actually ran well to finish 3rd. But Rio Grande, if I am playing the pick 6 today and haven't decided whether I'm going to or not, I have to double the race using the other Baffert, because Rio Grande, he looked like he was just in that 5th place debut at Del Mar just for a prep race. Christofferson, I believe, is a Baffert trainee. He won the race. Rio Grande was wide. It looked like they were just kind of giving him a race. And he does appear to have a little bit more gate speed than Providence, at least based on what we just saw.
Sure. Both
are second start maidens, well-bred, expensive types, and I expect them to both improve second time out. So I picked the Bafferts 1-2. On a backup ticket, I think you have to use number 4, Army Man, and number 5, Plagiarist. Number 4, Army Man, has trained well. His last 2 workouts got B-minuses. I think that's from Andy Harrington's Clocker Report. And he's by a sire named Battalion Runner. Battalion Runner progeny are 7 for 26 first time out. That's a 27% win clip first time out of the box. So,
and he only stands for 2,500.
He's a very low cost stallion for sure. So Army Man would be a horse that I would use on a backup, and Plagiarist, who pressed the pace, and he did not have a real great trip, and then he backed up in his debut. He's the second start made that I would expect to improve. But when all is said and done, the Bafferts are the horse to beat, numbers 1 and 2.
Fred, one thing I look at, following up on your comments about number 4, Army Man, and number 5, Plagiarist, is the stallion fee versus the purchase price. And you can see in the case of Army Man, he sold for 28 times his stud fee. In the case of Plagiarist, sold for 45 times his stud fee. The importance of that to me is there were at least 2 interested parties at auction trying to buy the same horse. They bid up the price way beyond what it would cost to breed to the horse. To me, that's a very positive sign.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's an interesting angle that I've used forever. Divide the sales cost by the stud fee, and you higher
get a multiple.
You get a multiple, and the higher the number, the more likely it is that this horse looks better physically than his pedigree.
Correct. Yeah. Exactly right. Race number 6 begins both the 50-cent late pick 5 as well as the $3 all turf pick 3. It's the Grade 2 John Henry Turf Championship, $200,000 guaranteed, traveling 1.25 miles on the turf course. Field of 7, number 7 Gold Phoenix, who we were talking about at the beginning of the seminar, is the 3-2 morning line favorite. Number 6 Stay Hot, the 5-2 second choice. How'd you see race 6, Brad?
Well, first of all, Gold Phoenix is a phenomenal story. To win the Del Mar Handicap 4 consecutive years is unheard of. But he loves Del Mar, Gold Phoenix does. He's 5 for 9 at Del Mar. At Santa Anita, he's only 3 for 15, and he has raced in the John Henry 3 times after winning the Del Mar Handicap, twice off the board, once third at 6-5. I mean, it kind of seems obvious to me that he prefers Del Mar. Gold Phoenix does.
A logical person would think that.
Wouldn't you think so? Meanwhile, as far as the horse that I do like, and that's number 6, Stay Hot, he can run at Del Mar. He can run at Santa Anita. He's 3 for 6 at Del Mar. And when they met in the Del Mar handicap and Gold Phoenix defeated Stay Hot, I'm still not sure that the best horse won that day. Stay Hot had some subtle trouble about the 3/8 pole. He kind of got shuffled a little bit, checked slightly. It was not a brutal trip, but when you look and see he got beat a neck by Gold Phoenix, maybe Stay Hot was best in the Del Mar handicap. I'm not sure. I do know that Stay Hot loves Santa Anita as much as he likes any other turf course, and I think he's going to get the jump on Gold Phoenix today. In fact, I picked Gold Phoenix third, trying to be cute and clever, trying to get the favorite out of the exacta. And my second selection is a long shot, number 3, Spycatcher. All he did last time out was win a one other than, but this is a horse with a history of outrunning his odds in big races. He was second in the Del Mar Derby at 68-1. He was second in the Hollywood Derby at 33-1. That was back when he was still a maiden. Well, he's now, a 6-year-old gelding. He's only won 2 of 13, but he has a forward. I think he's going to be relatively forwardly placed. By the way, this race was won. 4 of the last 5 John Herney winners led gate to wire, including Balladeer, who's in this race. He did it 2 years ago. Last year, it was Cabo Spirit going gate to wire. So Speed has done well recently in this race. Balladeer, he's probably going to set the pace. I think it looks like he might be off form this year. Certainly not the same form that he was in 2 years ago when he won this race, coming in off a win at Kentucky Downs. Balladeer is going to set the pace. I think that Spycatcher and Stay Hot are going to be in front of Gold Phoenix early. I think Stay Hot gets the jump. I think he wins the John Henry. And, Gold Phoenix is going to be finishing well. He could win this race. And if he does it at a short price, then I'm knocked out early. So I like 6 over 3, Stay Hot over Spycatcher.
Brad, second selection, number 3, Spycatcher. Take note, was supplemented to the race by his connections for $4,000, as was number 4, Dicey Mochera. That shows that certainly from an intent standpoint, the connections both like Spycatcher and Dicey Mochera. Race number 7 begins the 50-cent late pick 4, back sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track. It's a starter optional claiming race. Good field of 9 here, bit wide open as well. Number 4, Devil Among Us, the lukewarm 7-2 morning line favorite. How'd you see race 7, Brad?
Yeah, when the morning line favorite is 7-2, it kind of gives you an early indication that maybe this race is wide open, and it certainly is. The one thing about this race is there's all kinds of speed in here. Numbers 4, 6, 7, and 9. Devil Among Us, Hot Box, 406, number 8, Ballivon Gig, and Tiger in My Tank. They all have speed. The pace should be honest in this race. A lot of times when you see a situation like this, you go, I have to back a closer, and he blows up in your face. I'm going to back a closer here. Number 7, 406 Creed, claimed last time out by Jeff Mullins from a third-place finish, going 2 turns at Del Mar. The winner of that race, Joint Venture, came back to win his next start. I think that 406 Creed gets an ideal pace scenario for his closing style, and I think he can possibly mow them down if the pace unfolds as quickly as it does on paper. I think that he'll get every opportunity. Number 3, Supernal. He's moving to dirt from a turf route. He's run well over this track in the past, Santa Anita, and I think he has kind of a similar type of running style, an off-the-pace running style. So I'm going 7-3, but I definitely will be using number 9, Tiger in My Tank, who made my horses to watch list after his 4th place finish last time out. He went 21-44, and he still hung in there late. He was still in the race with an 1/8 of a mile to go, and he tired and finished 4th, beaten only slightly more than 3 lengths. Now, yeah, there's other speed in this race, and he could get the same situation today, but at least he's drawn outside, and maybe Kyle Frey has the opportunity to let the other speeds go, and he tucks in right behind them. Tiger in My Tank at 6-1 is a must-use for me, but I'm going with 2 closers, 7-3, and I'm using Tiger in My Tank up on the front end as well.
Brad, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do an infomercial, and you'll understand why in a moment, because I want you to talk about the benefits of DRF Formulator, because you talked about Tiger in My Tank being on your horses to watch list. One of the reasons I use Formulator is to put your horses to watch in the past performances, and Tiger in My Tank has made your horses to watch list the last 2 times. But, in the old days, you had to keep index cards and all sorts of other things, and probably have, bugs in the closet with all the racing forms you had to stack up. Now you don't need to do that with DRF Formulator. What, in your opinion, are some of the benefits of DRF Formulator?
Well, first of all, I shouldn't even confess this on the air. I don't know how to put my horses to watch into the formulator. So
I'll teach you one day.
please do, because I'm still on the old index card system. They are a formulator, and I'll sound like a house guy, but I don't care.
You should.
There are so many features. I couldn't handicap without it. You can see trainer patterns. You can see who horses have run against in the past. You can get a pace scenario because now Diera Formulator has the time form pace analysis built into the system, and you can take a look and see how time form projects the pace to be.
Sure.
You can. Everybody has their own idea of how a race is going to unfold and who's going to be on the lead, and I'll make those determinations on my own. But I like to have a check and see if anybody else agrees with me, or maybe there's a speed horse that I overlooked or whatever. So it's a dynamite.
Race replays are available.
Race replays,
pedigree.
trainer patterns, pedigrees, you name it. I couldn't handicap without it.
I completely agree on daily racing form. You've done a great service for the horse players. If you're not familiar with Diera Formulator, they have a number of specials where you can kind of fool around with it absolutely free of charge. And once you do, I think you'll understand why Brad and I basically promote it so aggressively. Race number 8, Brad, begins the popular $3 late pick 3. We're coming down the Hillside Turf Course. It's the Grade 2 Eddie D Stakes for $200,000 guaranteed. A field of 8. Make the jockey on number 1, Reef River, Antonio Fresu. Also the 3-1 morning line favorite. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Brad, we want to watch a replay of the Green Flash down at Del Mar in late August. That's because 4 of the 8 runners in today's field actually exit that race. The one that I want you to pay attention to is the runner breaking from the rail in this replay. That would be Beyond Brilliant. That was Beyond Brilliant's first time sprinting. And as we've been talking about, that was at a distance of 5 furlongs. You be the judge. You watch Beyond Brilliant and his stretch close and also the gallop out. You let me know if you think he's going to like 6.5 furlongs today. But rather than me try and convince you, let's listen to Larry Colmus describe the action in the Green Flash and watch the runner breaking from the rail, who's Beyond Brilliant.
They're off in the Green Flash and a perfect start. Virat comes out well. Booksmart sent hard, and Booksmart will grab the front. Then Sorrento Sky, No Nay Hudson on the inside. Farther out, Wound Up is next. Then Reef Runner, Boss Sully, Sumter, Queen Maxima to the outside, followed by Beyond Brilliant, and then the 2 trailers, First Piece and Motorious. Racing for the far turn, and it is Booksmart. Edwin Maldonado using that early speed. They've opened up 2.5 lengths, running a 21.41 quarter to do it. No Nay Hudson is second on the inside. Right up alongside is Virat in third by another 2. A wide run for Wound Up, and then Sorrento Sky to the inside. Motorious has been swung to the far outside. Still a lot of work to do. Into the final furlong. Booksmart, No Nay Hudson. Coming up the rail is Reef Runner on the outside. Here comes Sorrento Sky charging down the middle as well. Motorious just kicked it in. Here he comes. And Beyond Brilliant too. Here's a wire. Oh, it's a photo finish.
Brett, as we watch the gallop out here, there's our friend Beyond Brilliant basically galloping out in front with a lot of run. He was just getting warmed up because, as I mentioned, he was dropping out of 2-turn route races. I like this performance that afternoon. Now they come back, as I mentioned, and come down the Hillside Turf Course. Looking at the graphic, I think you and I have the same opinion.
I like Beyond Brilliant a lot today. I mean, it looks like there's going to be pace in this race today. They're going from 5 furlongs to 6.5. That should hit Beyond Brilliant right between the eyes. The way that he finished, the way that he galloped out going 5 furlongs. You don't see trainer John Sheriff very often, or any trainer for that matter, take a horse who won the Grade 1 Hollywood Derby at 1 1/8 way back in 2021, turn him into a turf sprinter at age 7. So that's exactly what Beyond Brilliant is now, and 6.5 is going to be perfect for him. He still has to negotiate a trip. You saw that Ricky Gonzalez gave him a great ride last time out, saved every inch of ground. He basically followed Reef Runner all the way through the race, finished well. Reef Runner finished in front of him. Difference today, 5 furlongs to 6.5. And I think Beyond Brilliant today is his chance to show that he can be an effective turf sprinter if what we just saw didn't convince anyone. Reef Runner, on the other hand, is a little bit of a dilemma because he has been a 5 furlong specialist his entire career. And you go, well, yeah, he can finish at 5 furlongs. He should love 6.5. That's not always the case. Sometimes these late blast home closers run very well at short distances and perhaps are less effective at 6.5. I don't know that that's the case with Reef Runner. I picked him second. I like Beyond Brilliant and Reef Runner. One other thing about Reef Runner that you don't see in the PPs, he was a first-time gelding on August 31st at Gulfstream Park. Trainer David Fox thought that this horse was not giving him everything that he thought he had. He was getting thick in the neck. He needed to be gelded to slim down, and that's exactly what he did. So Fox gelded him. He came back and won a visually impressive overnight handicap down at Gulfstream Park, and he reproduced that effort, actually improved on that effort in the Green Flash, and was first across the wire at a giant number, disqualified and placed second. I get the question, 2 points. A, he's a better horse since being gelded. But secondly, my skeptical handicapper says that he might be more effective at 5 furlongs than 6.5. I don't know that, but that's my gut feeling. I like Beyond Brilliant. There is one long shot in here I have to at least mention, and that's number 7, Kaylee's Angel. I was chatting with trainer Peter Miller down at Del Mar this summer, and he said he ran him in the Oceanside because there was no place else to run in Southern California for a 3-year-old grass horse. He knew he was a sprinter. He ran him in the Oceanside. He tried to steal it. He faded. He's been freshened since then. We know that he's a sprinter. He's going to get a great trip sitting second behind Mucho del Oro. Juan Hernandez is on Kaylee's Angel, and Kaylee's Angel is going to get first run on Beyond Brilliant and Reef Runner, and I think he has a chance to maybe outrun his price. But Beyond Brilliant, my top choice over Reef Runner, with Kaylee's Angel a potential knockout.
2.5 minutes to look at the final 2 races on the card, including race number 9, which is the feature race on the card. It's the Grade 1 Goodwood Stakes, $300,000 guaranteed purse. A win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Classic division. Traveling 1 1/8 on the main track. Also begins the $5 late daily double. Scratch number 1 Gaming, make the jockey, and number 4 First Mission, Umberto Rispoli, who's also the 8-5 favorite. Brad Cox has 1. Bob Baffert now has 2. What say you about race 9, Brad?
I think Full Serrano is the standout in this race. I mean, he loves this track based on his morning workouts. I know he's never raced over the Santa Anita track in the afternoon. He's a top-class horse. He finished second in the Pacific Classic last summer, won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. So in 2 Grade 1s, he has a win and a second. First Mission is an outstanding racehorse, $2.2 million. He's won 6 out of 14. He's raced in 4 Grade 1 stakes. He's finished third once. So I think on class, Full Serrano outclasses First Mission. And Full Serrano's forwardly placed running style, not that First Mission is to come from behind her, but Full Serrano should either make the lead or press the pace on the outside. And I think, I'm not going to say he's a slam dunk because there's some good horses in here, but I like Full Serrano. I'll be surprised if he doesn't win the Goodwood today.
Close on an excellent 10-race card. In race number 10, offering $1 super high five wagering. We're coming back down the Hillside Turf Course for 3-year-old fillies. It's the John C. Harris Stakes, Grade 3 event, $100,000 guaranteed. As we've been talking about, Mr. Harris is a longtime California owner and breeder who passed away this summer. He was a stalwart of the state's racing and breeding industry, and he was instrumental in all aspects of our sport. We're proud to honor, Sandy News proud to honor his memory this afternoon, and we welcome members of his family and farm to celebrate his life who are on track today. We've got 12 different ways we can go here, Brad, because number 12, Tight Squeeze Scratched. Also number 1, Warming, is the Luke 1-7-2 morning line favorite, the Invader from back east. For trainer Graham Motion, give us a winner to close it out.
Well, can I lock in 5-1 on Castilou right now? Because
Fixed odds?
Yeah, fixed odds wagering. When's that going to happen? Castilou is back doing what she does best, and that's sprint. Baffert tried her in the Del Mar Oaks. She actually ran very well in the San Clemente, finishing second. The Del Mar Oaks was 1 1/8. It was too far. She's back doing what she does best, which is sprint. I think that she's going to win the John Harris. I think her odds are going to be considerably shorter than 5-1. Warming in for trainer Graham Motion. Graham Motion has shipped 5 horses to California this year, 3 winners and 1 second. She's shortening up. She'll be coming from behind. There's a price horse in here. She's my 3rd selection. Number 9, Eiffel. Highly rated runner-up finish, 2 starts back, going a mile at Del Mar. She had a brutal trip in her next start. She's backing up. She's trained well. She's back sprinting, which she won her career debut in a sprint. I think Eiffel has a chance to outrun her 8-1 morning line odds, but I'm going 6-1-9 in that order. And the sentimental choice, obviously, would have to be a Wink and a Grin, owned and bred by Harris Farms.
Brad, thanks so much for your time and insight. Great job as always. Keep up the great work of the Daily Racing Form. We'll do it again sometime soon.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you.
Before we let you go, just a couple of quick reminders about 2 other wagers we did not really talk about. The popular Coast to Coast Pick 5, of course, is in play today, combining races both from Santa Anita and Gulfstream Park. And keep in mind the Sunset Pick 6, as you can see on the graphic, which combines the last 3 races from Gulfstream Park and the last 3 races from Santa Anita, has a carryover today. That's right. Nobody hit it on its debut yesterday. $12,000 in the pool. That Sunset 6 wager will begin with race number 9 at Gulfstream Park, 2:05 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll do it all again tomorrow. Have a great afternoon and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we direct your attention to the flagpole in the infield, as well as the Santa Anita Winner's Circle. We ask that you please rise for our national anthem as we welcome Jay Cohen, Forrest Powell, and Rick Tyree. Jay Cohen, Forrest Powell, Rick Tyree, hearing it from the crowd here at Santa Anita Park. Well done, gentlemen. Welcome to Santa Anita Park, where the track is fast, the turf is firm. Here are the changes on today's outstanding program. Keep in mind the rail on the turf is at 0 feet. In the first, number 2, Dialing Destiny. The jockey is Ricky Gonzalez. Keep in mind that at Gulfstream Park, when they get their 9th race underway, it starts the Sunset Pick 6. The Sunset Pick 6, a new wager. It's a $1 Pick 6 with a player-friendly takeout, combining the last 3 races from Gulfstream with the last 3 from Santa Anita Park. Another unique wagering concept with a nice carryover from day one of more than $12,700. Early Pick 5 starts with the opener. In the second race, no changes with early Pick 4 wagering. Race 3, scratch 6, cash in tonight. The fourth is the City of Hope Mile. It's a Breeders' Cup win, and you're in for the mile division. There are no changes, but there is a middle Pick 4 that starts with the fourth. Race 5, the first leg of the $2 Pick 6. We have a carryover here as well, $28,474. Number 4, Army Man. Make the jockey Umberto Rispoli. Race 6 is the John Henry Turf Championship. Also started the All-Turf Pick 3. Just the blinker note for Balladeer. Late Pick 5 starts with the 6th. Late Pick 4 starts with the 7th. We have an overweight. Number 6, Hot Box, will carry a pound over. The 8th is the Eddie D. Number 1, Reef Runner. Make the rider Antonio Fresu. $3 Late Pick 3 starts with our 8th. The 9th, the Grade 1 Goodwood, which is a Breeders' Cup win, and you're in for the Classic Division. Scratch 1 Gaming. Jockey change 4, First Mission, Umberto Rispoli. Overweight 5, Nevada Beach, 2 pounds over. And the 10th, the John C. Harris Stakes, Grade 3 event. Scratch number 12, Tight Squeeze. There is super high 5 wagering offered on race 10. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. 26 minutes to post for race 1. Don't forget the ever popular Coast to Coast Pick 5. It'll start here today at Santa Anita with the 4th